No, Virginia Tech's better than their record. And I think Coach Young does a great job. He's an excellent coach. They got really good players. I think Aluma's really good. I've said this, the other day. I mean, I was sitting next to Coach Young and in Orlando this fall. We were recruiting the same players. And I told him, I said, I think you guys got to have a real shot to win the ACC this year. And he agreed. And he wasn't doing it in a boisterous way. Just he agreed. His team was good. And so I think it's just this league. You can play well and be good and still take some losses along the way. They just had some tough games. I think they're really good. And, it wouldn't surprise me. They win a bunch on the way the rest of the season. I hope when they play us at our spot, we beat them. But I can see them getting a lot of wins for the remainder of the year. And we do a lot of different defenses, and they hit a couple threes. I mean, they stretched us a little bit. We did a good job on Couture, but what really hurt us was Aluma, and obviously Storm Murphy hit some shots, hit some threes, but the bottom line was Aluma and Mutz were 12 for 15. They're really good players, and they got us in the paint. They got us stretched a little bit. All that being said, we once again went into our famous scoring drought. We just could not score. Now, we scored a little bit in the first half, but we had stretches where we had great looks. And when you're playing a good team in the ACC, you got to stick those. But all credit goes to Virginia Tech. Our guys battled the second half and fought and gave ourselves some life. But Virginia Tech's a very, very good basketball team, and they're better than the record.
What about Virginia Tech?
Well, part of it is, Virginia Tech's a very good defensive team. We've had some issues with scoring droughts this year. So it's been every team. It's not just Virginia Tech. It's been every team we play. We've just, we've done droughts, but we need some of our guys to be hitting on the same page each game. And we haven't really had that, like last game, Mike DeVoe wasn't as good versus Miami, and tonight he was excellent. Had 30, and Jordan Usher and Khalid, who were 3 for 18, and last game Khalid had a career high. So it's just one of those things that we need 2 or 3 guys to be really consistent scoring wise. But all being said, we got to defend, and their offense was better than our defense in the first half, and that was the difference of the game.
Josh, it seemed like the turning point of the game was really the first half. You go 1 for 11 shooting in the stretch. They open up 13-point lead.
Scoring again, Kelly.
And I'm just curious, like the interior defense piece of it, is it breakdowns in the zone? Is it just not having?
No, it's. I think it's 2 things. There's no breakdowns. It's small. We're small. So when Rodney, Saba, and Jordan Mecca aren't playing, we're really small. And because Khalid, Moore, and Jordan Usher, like last year, even when we sized down with Moses, but he was a shot blocker and he was first team all defense. When Jordan and Khalid, 3 men, trying to play the 5. And so they battle. It's just we're small down there compared to guys like Luma. But here's the thing, Kelly, we're better offensively at times when we're small. So that's the trade-off. And we just got to fly around, and that's part of the deal is it's not as much the breakdowns. We're just really small when we don't have a big in there. But then offensively, move a little better when Jordan Usher's at the 5 offensively. So it's a trade-off in each way. Now, Roddy did a nice job the second half offensively. We were better at that. But that's just kind of where we're at right now. And we don't have that shot blocker. We've had a shot blocker for all my years here. We don't have right now currently a shot blocker. Now Jordan Mecca wasn't able to play today, and he had hurt himself yesterday in practice. Tristan still has an issue with his thumb, but that's that.
In terms of just looking at other things, it seemed like at one point you got quite frustrated and shared some words with the PA guy during one of the timeouts. Kind of what happened there?
Oh no, I was just telling the PA guy because I thought it was I disagreed with the call, and I was telling the PA guy, can he announce that on the thing that he agrees with me that it wasn't the right call, but he says I can't do that, coach. I can't do that. So I was just giving him a hard time.
In terms of just kind of where you're I'm here. This is the 6th game. You've lost every first February game you've played at the beginning of February since you've been here. They've all been road games for whatever reason. Is there anything in particular that, like, is it just the?
No, I mean, I think this year's just different. It's just different this year because what we've lost. You know, even when I look back, when we watch the tapes from last year, and you watch on, you know, I mean, we were really good. We were really good last year, and we just lost a lot. I mean, you got. And when you're developing, it just takes time. And we lost a lot, you know, and you know, you got a guy starting in the NBA, you got another guy who's putting up double figures every day in the G League, and you got a guy you're counting on, Bubba Parham. You know, you're just missing a lot. So you're depending on a lot of new faces, new guys, and then some of the older guys. You know, you're just, you know, if they're not really good every single time you step out, every time we step on the floor, it makes it hard. So it's just this is just part of one of those years where it's just, you know, it's been some ups and downs, but I still love our group. And I know the record doesn't show it, but we are getting better in certain things. We're just, you know, it's not always showing up in the scoreboard, but we're close. We're really close. We're right there, and no better time to get over the hump starting on Saturday versus a very good Clemson team I know beat Florida State. And you got to do your job and protect home court and win home games.
You know, I guess one last thing, just in terms of when the offense gets in that funk, and even had some plays you called out of timeouts and turned the ball over. Just weird things happen tonight. Kind of, I guess, how do you break that? There's no Moses Wright or James Banks or whatever that you could go into the post, or Ben Lammers, whoever it is, to go get that cheap bucket. Like, you just don't have that guy this year. So how do you create that? Yeah,
we've got to be able to. That's what I'm saying. There's, you know, our upperclassmen's got to really score for us. Got to be really consistent with the scoring. And like today, Jordan Usher had great looks from three, and he missed some, and a couple of short shots he missed. And Khalid Moore, you know, last game had a career high, and tonight, you know, he was 0 for 6. It's just, we need those guys to be very consistent with it for us, and we need Michael DeVoe to do what he did tonight, do it every game. Just, that's really what the reality of it is. Kelly, I was disappointed a couple of, as you mentioned, those 2 timeouts. You know, we didn't execute right, but, you know, obviously I didn't do a good job on that one because they must not understood it out of the timeout. That all being said, you're just trying to find anything you can find to score. And we need those, as I mentioned, those guys, especially the upperclassmen, to be consistent scorers to give us our best chance for success.
7 times you tied the game in the first half and then gave up a bucket on the next possession and just couldn't.
I felt our defense was good in the second half. It was our first half. We actually scoring okay the first half here and there. We just defensively we didn't get enough stops, and they hurt us on the interior. We were much better the second half the way we were moving in the zone.
Okay, Mike, let's take one each from Ken and Rod, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, Rod, why don't you start us out, and then we'll take one from Ken.
Hey, Josh, it looked offensively, it looked like the difference between the two teams, Virginia Tech was really moving the ball without putting the ball on the ground, making your defense really work. And there was a lot of one-on-one dribbling from your guys. It made it a little easier to defend for Virginia Tech.
Well, we were in zone a lot, Rod. So, you know, just by that naturally, it's going to be less dribbling and more ball movement because when you're playing zone. But, you know, with us offensively, we've had some struggles offensively this year. We had 7 more shot attempts than them. Now they went to the free throw line a bunch more, but, you know, we did have 60 attempts. I thought we had some really good looks that just, you know, we missed. And we've had a real issue with scoring droughts this year, Rod.
Ken?
Michael DeVoe got on track a little bit. What did you see out of him?
Yeah, and I was glad he got going, and we need Michael to score like that pretty much every game for us. Now he's got to do it within sometimes he gets himself, you know, he over dribbles, and he's got to be better about that. However, when he's open, he's got to shoot it, and he did that tonight. And when he's open, his feet are set, and he's got daylight. He's got to let it go. I don't care if he shoots. I'd rather him shoot 15 threes. Than less, and trying to get in tighter and turning and spinning and getting a turnover. So he just got to let it fly because he's going to make his share of threes. But it's good to see him hopefully get going now. And we're going to need him, and we need Jordan Usher and Khalid and those guys all to step up for us.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels back.
Okay. Thanks.